Welcome back to part 2 video on answering the question to fill in the blanks with the best possible answer concerning two parallel lines you see here cut by a transversal line. So these two lines are parallel lines. You can understand that from this symbol here with the arrow to the arrow. And lines go on forever and ever. And that's why there are arrows at the ends of these lines. So these lines go on forever and ever in both of the directions. Now, these two lines are parallel. And again, to indicate that they're parallel, you have this symbol here of the arrow and the arrow. Now, the line that's cutting these two parallel lines is called a transversal line. Okay? And I have to emphasize this only will create the angles I'm going to talk about in these videos if the two lines are parallel. Now, they may not always be shown like you see here. These parallel lines, you can take them, you can invert them, and they could be going up and down, vertical, and then have that transversal line go through there. They could be, different angles, but just typically you got two parallel lines and the line cutting through is a transversal. It creates angles that you saw in that part 1 video. Now I'm going to highlight these angles in certain colors, and it's going to make it a lot easier for students learning this for the first time to understand what those angles are. Okay, I'm going to get into this a little bit later, but simply put, you have this angle here highlighted in green and this angle here highlighted in green. Both of these angles are considered corresponding angles. And there's something special about those angles. You see this angle highlighted in yellow and this angle highlighted in yellow? Well, these are called vertical angles. I'll be going over those at the latter parts of my other videos, right? Just like this green to green angle. These angles here are also vertical angles, right? And so I'm going to be going over specific information regarding these angles. And it's going to help you understand what it is that you need to know in order to answer these questions that I'm going to pose to you for the standardized assessment exams. All right. So something you need to know, again, I mentioned this earlier, when two parallel lines are cut, and only when parallel lines are cut by a transversal line, they form obtuse angles. I've highlighted those obtuse angles in yellow. So if you need to stop, pause, rewind the video, please do that. I'll try to show them again after I explain these definitions, right? An obtuse angle or angles are angles greater than 90 degrees, but they're less than or smaller than 180 degrees. It also creates acute angles. These were highlighted in green. Angles that are less than 90 degrees, okay? And those angles were highlighted in green. So you can take an obtuse angle and add it to any acute angle. Those are supplementary angles. Why? Because any yellow highlighted with any green highlighted angle will add up to be 180 degrees. That's a straight line is 180 degrees, right? And again, those are called supplementary angles. They add up to 180 degrees. So any yellow highlighted angle with any green highlighted angle, you add them together, you're going to get 180 degrees. Okay, so let me show that to you again. Again, I like to go slow. I'm not going to rush through these videos. Math can be pretty complicated for some folks, and for some people it's very easy. For me, it was tough. I'd had to practice and work really hard to get it, but now I get it. And so I like to share that with you. So again, any green angle added with any yellow will give you 180 degrees, a straight line, right? And so if given just one of these angles, you can figure out the missing value of the missing angle, because both of these will add up to 180 degrees. This green angle and this yellow angle, these two here, will add up to 180 degrees. This yellow angle and this green angle will add up to be 180 degrees. So again, any yellow added to any green will give you the value of a straight line, 180 degrees. Okay, and I'm going to go over this a little bit later. We're going to talk about congruency in the next part 3 video, but I'm going to introduce it now. Any angle in yellow is going to be equal to each other or congruent, because in measurement it's not quite exactly equal or the same, right? So each of these yellow angles would be congruent. Each of these green angles would be congruent. Congruence is a fancy way in measurement to say all equal, almost equal in measurement. Listen, I'm going to go over that in just a moment. So try to remember, math is easy. Take it step by step. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate your time. If you like these videos, please like, follow, and share. Help me to reach my goal of 20,000 followers and 100,000, 200,000 views. Math is easy. Take it step by step.